So, this is home. A little spare, don't you think?
Blame the previous owner.
Oh, found yourself a fixer-upper, huh? She's not bad, just needs a little TLC. A couple bounties ought to go a long way to sprucing the place up. Think about it.
I've got better things to spend my credits on than your comfort.
I forget you legit types are always strapped for cash. We can't all be fabulously wealthy criminal masterminds, but this bounty hunting gig seems straightforward enough. Besides, I like the idea of doing the chasing for a change, even if I am slumming it. Oh, it's good to relax. This is as close as I'm getting to it these days.
Could have fooled me.
Laugh all you want, it's hard work relaxing. I've spent so long keeping one step ahead of somebody, I can't believe I've lost them for good. At least when I'm out with you, I usually know where the blaster fire's coming from. Keeps my mind off trouble. Mostly.
The less time you and Trouble spend together, the better.
You've got a marvelously camouflaged sense of humor, you know that? Let's see how easily you brush off your old instincts and catch 40 winks after you've spent 30 years bounty hunting.
You can sleep when you're dead.
It's so nice to have a partner concerned with my health and well-being. Come on, I think I've had my fill of all this cheering up. You know, you're pretty quick to sniff out an opportunity for profit.
Flattery won't get whatever you're angling for.
If I were really flattering a gem such as yourself, I wouldn't lead with your business acumen. I was just making an observation, but now that you mention it... I wonder how much more lucrative our little partnership could be if you applied that intuition to something other than bounty hunting.
Gave up trying to make an honest living already?
I was looking for a fresh start with this little arrangement, not a career change. My abundance of skills and expertise are always at your disposal. It just so happens that most of my expertise is in crime. Mull it over. I'd hate to see so much potential go to waste. I've been thinking it over, and I see a lot of room for improvement maximizing your profits. Take catching me, for example. Sure, you got a nice bounty from the Great Hunt, but why stop there? You just need to use a little imagination.
Get to the point, Gault.
A few words in the right ears, and you could make a lot of money on poor Tiresias's remains, if you don't mind double-crossing crime lords. Offer the body, see who bites, rob them blind. Couldn't be simpler.
Drum up some interest. If the payoff is worth the risk, I'm in.
See, that's the best part about this little partnership. The scams are a lot less risky when you know you can vaporize anyone in the room. So, that suggestion I had involving my duplicate? Turns out there are a lot of folks out there who've still got a bone to pick with the late Tiresias Loci. A little friendly competition couldn't hurt our final take. I'm thinking an auction would do the trick.
I'm open to anything that'll boost our profits.
That's just what I wanted to hear. Give me some time off the ship, and I can handle the whole thing by proxy. The only finger you'll have to lift will be the one accepting your credit transfer.
Try anything cute, and it'll be a 2-for-1 sale.
Cute's not really my style. Besides, I'm still recovering from the last time we crossed each other. I'll be back before you know it. What, no parade? Oh, not even a cake? How about at least mustering a good to see you for the guy holding your share of the credits?
I'd like to see my take before it wanders off.
It's not like it'd be going far. I live here, remember? Your cut. Pretty good take, considering the expenses. The bidders really couldn't wait to take Tiresias off our hands.
What expenses?
Middlemen, venues, security, incentives, everything necessary to ensure a smooth transaction with half the underworld in one place. 3 pirate crews, 10 free traders, 2 exchange bosses, half a dozen huts, one I don't even remember crossing. Kept licking his lips. I think his name was Druga. It was quite the rogues gallery. A lot of familiar faces. Brought back memories, let me tell you. Oh, I picked up a little souvenir from the Royal Museum. I thought we could make sure these get put to better use.
Keep your loot. I work for a living.
Fine, I wanted some decorations anyway. Brighten up the cell, you know? Let me tell you a little thing about opportunity.
How about you just tell me what you want?
Listen, I met this group of Arcona colonists in Mos Ela while waiting to get off planet. Seems fresh water's hard to come by on Kona. These rubes heard about moisture farming on Tatooine and figured it was their ticket to riches. Fleecing these yokels will be like taking candy from a baby. The key is finding the right scheme.
You really enjoy seeing what you can get away with, don't you?
Surely a Mandalorian can appreciate testing one's limits. Moisture farmers aren't exactly rolling in credits, but a whole colony of them can add up. Remember those Arcona colonists I was telling you about? Well, I've got the perfect racket to skim a little profit off those moisture farming saps. Salt.
This I have to hear.
I used to know this spacey Arconan bagman back on Nar Shaddaa. Thought the guy was a spice head for the longest time. Turns out I was only half right. This guy's cravings were something else.
Now who are you trying to con?
If you'd been there, you wouldn't be giving me that look. One night, after making our handoff in some dive diner, he orders some garbage soup and dumps an entire shaker of salt into the bowl. Should have seen the way this guy went at the stuff before stumbling out of the place like its last call.
Your money's on these colonists having the same craving.
10 to 1 says there's something about salt that those wedgeheads can't resist. We're gonna sell those colonists the answer to all their woes, specially formulated and offered exclusively through Rowing Industries. If I'm right about how much Arcona love the stuff, our biggest problem will be keeping up the supply. Meet our new product. Had our salt shipment bottled as special tablets to help organics retain water. Now we just need to seal the deal. I want you with me when our prospective buyer calls. Keep him from getting too comfortable. We'll be meeting an Arcona named Gruna to convince him to act as our supplier to the colony.
I'll try not to let all the excitement get to me.
You'll change your tune when the credits start rolling in. This chump would do anything for enough credits to get off Tatooine. I don't think it'll take much to get poor Gruna to bite. Gruna, good to hear from you. Looking well. Lose some weight?
Kagriso efretu paranai.
Oh, her? Don't worry about her. Had to let my last security detail go in favor of this fine lady. Say hello, my dear. Manners aren't part of the job description, you understand. You know, Gruna, I'm a bit of a philanthropist. Did I mention that?
Grojaman.
My visit to Tatooine left me inspired by the plight of rugged folks like yourself trying to squeeze life out of that dust bowl. Making life easier for the little guy, that's my motto, and helping you hardworking souls is now my personal mission.
He'll put himself in the poorhouse if that's what it takes.
My associate worries too much. My friend Gruna and his pals wouldn't leave me holding the bag. There'll be plenty of prosperity to go round. The top chemists at Rowing Industries developed this little wonder for us, a compound designed to maximize water retention in organic life forms. The benefit to hardworking subsistence farmers such as yourself is immeasurable.
Pandravimos pandimas protes cada viteradag. Smalsio populas mana ir padre mana narcali.
We've invested a lot of money into this project for you. Now you're not interested?
Fajos ir dragas.
We had a long trip. My partner's just a little grouchy. No need to rush a decision. I stand by my product. Tell you what, I'll send you a sample. If your friends aren't begging you for more in a matter of days, you can keep it. No charge.
Patarana ango, mis aka nanom alas potas era.
Don't mention it. I hope we'll be hearing from you soon. Come on, partner. I have a feeling we'll need to increase our supply. Now we wait for Gruna, gets his friends hooked, and watch the credits trickle in.
I thought you were crazy when you pitched this little scheme.
I'm unconventional, not a crackpot. Remember that. You seem to have an knack for this line of work. I think it's time we take off the kid gloves and find a big score. I'll do a little legwork while you find ways to spend your newfound wealth. Notice anything different?
You should lay off the junk food.
And they said the stuff was slimming. Just acquired some nice form-fitting blast armor. Thought I'd see if it would stand up to a trained eye. Apparently so, if your observation is any indication.
The equipment I'm providing not cutting it?
No complaints. This is purely supplemental. Since I'm still putting myself in harm's way, I decided to make a little investment in my well-being. Been stocking up on interesting tidbits at every port we've hit. From here on, I'm ready for anything. So, what do you know about Hilo Viz?
I know you don't really care what I know.
She broke the Mandalorian blockade at the Hydian Way. You know, the one that strangled Coruscant and dashed a full-scale Jedi assault. And it wasn't out of the goodness of her heart, either. Credits were involved. A lot of them.
I bet more than a few people would be willing to pay to have a word with her.
That'd be difficult to deliver, considering she's dead. Anyone asking about Hilo isn't looking for a chat. Most think the Hutts were behind Hilo's disappearance, but anyone who knew her could tell you they'd have better odds winning a marathon. No, she's still out there. Somewhere.
Not to mention her credits.
Ah, that isn't exactly the case. Hilo was my old partner. More than that. That blockade run was the last thing we ever did together. Like I said, a lot of credits were involved. When I saw the opportunity, I took off and left Hilo holding the bag. Stupid.
Reassuring.
Hey, I said it was stupid. I learned my lesson. Listen, I found out that an old associate from that blockade run is still around and kicking. A mutual acquaintance. I owe Hilo one last visit. If he knows where she's been laying low all this time, I've got to track him down. I caught up with that old associate from the blockade run. Old Quan and I had a nice little chat. He was surprised to see me, to say the least.
He probably thought he was finally rid of you.
We were never that close, not like you and me, so I didn't mind too much having to shoot him. Before I had to end Quan's retirement prematurely, I convinced him to fill me in on some gaps in our history since the blockade run. When the Hutts came looking for their return investment, Hilo Viz smuggled herself off to Republic space with the help of another free trader.
Looks like she got over you quickly enough.
Haha, fat chance. Hilo had better taste in who to be caught dead with. Remember Zale Barrows? She cut a deal with that twerp to hide her on Belsavis. If she's still stuck there, this is my chance to swoop in to the rescue. I've got to go after her.
You're deluding yourself. All that time running make you forget how to face consequences?
I'm suggesting risking my neck on the off chance I can save someone who hates my guts. Of course I'm deluded. If I don't make it, well, thanks. I don't think Tiresias would have ever gotten this opportunity.
When did you get back?
Oh, a little while ago. I wasn't exactly in a talkative mood. My little pipe dream involving Hilo went about as you'd have expected.
I expected you wouldn't make it back.
I appreciate the vote of confidence. After all these years, I finally caught up with her, and she hadn't changed a bit. I found her on Belsavis in some sort of stasis chamber. It was like I just left.
Talk about your past catching up with you.
If she'd had a blaster, she'd have shot me the moment she came to. Lucky for me, she recognized that prison wasn't the place to hash things out. She took off the first chance she got. Hardly the reunion I was looking for, but I got her out of that pit. That counts for something, right?
Well, now you can get over it and move on.
Yeah, maybe. If you'll excuse me, I need to create a hangover to nurse. You're not gonna believe this. I heard from Hilo. She's willing to take me back if I'm willing to show she means more to me than me. Sent the message certified, credits on delivery. Whew, almost cleaned me out just to have it delivered.
She's nobody's fool.
Never was. If it had been my plan to steal the money, she'd have sniffed me out. That just sort of happened. I learned my lesson. I feel like I'm back in my prime. Not that I'd slipped, I'm just unburdened. I owe you for that, so I thought I'd say it. Don't go making a big deal out of it.
That's going on the record.
I'm gonna hear about this for a while, aren't I? I've gotta hand it to you. You really surprised me. You're not what I would call a conventional partner in crime. But we're really turning out to make quite the team.
That mean I'm stuck with you?
I'm afraid so. You and me, we're going to carve out a criminal empire, or at least accumulate one heck of a fortune. Your children's children won't know what to do with it. I'm telling you, wild space is the limit. Have I mentioned how much pulling that little con has improved my mood? I think that auction put to bed any lingering doubts that Tiresias is dead and gone. And aside from knowing my new identity on a stick, I'd almost forgotten how much I love a good scheme.
Does this mean you're going to stop pacing the ship at all hours?
Sure, unless I'm planning our next big score. It's hard to work a proper hustle when you're on the run, chum. I've pulled more heists than cons in recent memory. That was the kind of racket my former partner preferred. Simple, bold, effective. Used to argue about that a lot.
Sounds like I got stuck with the dead weight.
Only between your ears. My preference is to be long gone by the time anyone gets wise. That's a lot easier without bounty hunters breathing down my neck. It's about time I got back in the game. Can't afford to let myself get out of practice, after all.